Hi 7C. So in this lesson video, I'll try to make it as short as possible. Last lesson, we did add and subtract number strategies. And today we're going to look at multiply and divide. So let's go straight into the examples over here. So there are different strategies for multiplication and division. Let's start with multiplication. First of all, the first one, you can multiply by powers of 10 and then write the number of zeros which follow. So for example, if I have 8 times 70,000, instead of multiplying 70,000, I do 8 times 7, and then it's going to be times 10,000. The second strategy is multiply 3 or more numbers. We can change the order of the multiplication. Sometimes it will be easier. So for example, in this one, 4 times 25 is much easier to do. Let me just zoom in a little bit. 4 times 25 is a lot easier to do. That's 100 compared to 4 times 31 and then multiply 25. So you just change the order, and that's going to be 31 times 100, which is 30,100. That's quite simple. Now, I'm not going to read through all of them. What I will do instead is I will go through two examples from the textbook. So the first one I'm going to do, these are going to be from exercise 1B.2. So it's going to be our class examples from exercise 1B.2. Let me write that a little bit better. 1B.2. So first one, I'm going to take question 1D. That's going to be 9 times 700. So this one seems to be quite straightforward. I'm going to do 9 times 7, and then I'm going to change 700 into 7 times 100. So that'll be the same as 9 times 7 times 100. Now I am showing my strategy on how to split up this multiplication into several steps. I want you to do the same when you are doing your homework. Please show all of the steps, the strategy that you use. So what is 9 times 7? That's going to be 63 times 100, and so you just combine that in the end. That's 6300, so that's 6,300. Next example I'm going to do is 3F. So once you're done with one question, I want you to skip a line and then you write the next question. Remember, you need to copy down the question as well. So you can see here, I am copying down, that's 12 times 16. So when I look at this, how am I going to split this up, or how am I going to multiply this? Well, let's look over here. What I can do is I can double one number and half one number. Would that make it easier? Let's just have a look. Let's try and see. I'm gonna double, let's say 24. That probably doesn't make it easier. Instead, what I can do is I can split up using strategy 4, one number, and then add together. So I'm going to split up 12 because 12 can be split into 10 plus 2. Let's do that. That's going to be 10 plus 2 in a bracket times 16. And so with this, I can do 10 times 16 first plus 2 times 16. So this is a strategy called using what's it called? You multiply into the brackets. Distributive property. That's what the name of this is. Distributive property. I might just write that down here. Distributive property. So with that, this now becomes 160, very easy. And then 2 times 16 is 32. That's also quite easy. And then once you add them together, that's 192. I'm going to do one last example, and then I'm going to go into the division ones. So next one is going to be, let me just continue going downwards. For J, I believe, for J, and this one is 12 times 1005. Now notice in 3F example, you can use another strategy if that's easier for you. I chose to use this strategy because I believe that it's easier for me. If you prefer another strategy, show me which strategy you like to use. Now for this one, I'm going to use the same strategy as above. I'm going to split this into 10 plus 2 times 1005. And so this becomes 10 times 1005 plus 2 times 1005. These are both very easy calculations I can do in my head. So that will be 10050 plus 2010. So doubling any number should be quite easy for anyone. Hopefully it's quite easy for everyone. Now all we have to do is add them together. So 10,050 plus 2010, that's going to be 12,060. So moving on to division, let me see if I can move this down a little bit. Now, this is in your textbook. You can read this yourself. I'm going to go straight into some example questions because I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm going to do examples from exercise 1B.3, examples from exercise 1B.3. And so I'm going to take question 1B, and that's going to be 72 divided by 12. Now, when I look at this, you can look at the strategy yourself. I'm not going to spend time reading all of them to you. I'm going to divide both of these numbers by 6 because 72 can be divided by 6. 12 can also be divided by 6. So that's one of the strategies there. So 72 divided by 6, that's going to be 12. And 12 divided by 6 is going to be 2. So that now becomes 12 divided by 2. Suddenly, it becomes so much easier. So from 72 divided by 12 to 12 divided by 2, well, 12 divided by 2 is just 6. Very simple. Next example. I know I'm going a little bit fast, but if at any time you feel that you couldn't catch up, feel free to pause the video or go back and look at it again. 2D, this is going to be 28 divided by 6. Now, for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the closest number to multiples of 6 for 28. So for this one, that's going to be, well, 28 is actually closer to 30, but I don't want to go above 28. I don't want to subtract later. Instead, I just want to add later. So we're going to go down a bit. That's going to be 24. So we're going to split this into 24 divided by 6 plus 4 divided by 6. I think I skipped a step there. We should write it a little bit better. That's going to be 24 plus 4. I'm splitting this 28 and then divided by 6. Then again, we use the distributive property. That's going to be 24 divided by 6 plus 4 divided by 6. And then 24 divided by 6 is fairly simple. That's going to be 4. And then 4 divided by 6 is 2 over 3 as a fraction. How do I know it's 2 over 3? That's 4 divided by 6 is the same as 2 divided by 3, and 2 divided by 3 is the same as 2 over 3 as a fraction. I'm going to write this as a fraction, then I can put them together as a mixed number, 4 and 2/3. So these are the strategies for multiplication and division. I know I've been talking really fast. It's been almost 10 minutes now, so I'm going to keep the video short. Your homework is down here. Okay, you can also find this in your class notebook. It's already there. So what I want you to do is you need to complete all of these exercises. Last lesson, some people didn't know what questions they were supposed to do. You need to go to the exercise part, 1B.2, and then the small questions, 1C, 1E, 1F, 2B, 2D, and so on, and the same for 1B.3. Do all your homework on a piece of lined paper or in your notebook, and then take a picture and upload it to OneNote. That is it for today, and I will see you next lesson.